Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Rick Wakeman here. I'm Fabio Ribeiro. Good evening. So first question, can you start? What was your first contact with Korg equipment? And do you remember what model, when it was?
I do. I received a message from Kato-san in
Mr.
Tokyo.
Kato,
Yeah, Mr. Kato. I received a message from him in 1979, and he said, would I like to go to Tokyo and see some instruments?
Yeah.
And I said, yeah. So I went to Tokyo. I met Kato-san and all the people at Korg, and he showed me a range of instruments, keyboards that they wanted to produce, which included the Korg Trident, the Samda, Sigma, Lambda, the EP. I can't remember the number.
Is it like an electric
piano? Yeah. EP. Right. I can't remember the exact number.
I don't remember neither.
And the BX3 and the CX3, the organs. Yeah. And I loved them. We got on very well. And he said to me at the time, through Junko, who was his PA translator, he said, at the moment, Korg, not number one. Next year, Korg, number one.
Yeah.
And he was right. And they were ever since.
They grew up quickly, really.
I took a whole new rig of Korg out on tour, including down here to South America. Yeah. I think it was the first.
The vocoder and everything.
I had a vocoder. I had a vocoder. Brought it all down to Brazil, and toured in Brazil with everything, and we just became really good friends, and I just liked the way that everybody at the company, they just cared about the sounds, the music, and the musicians that played. Yeah. I'd never ever met a company that had such a caring interest in everybody, and Carter used to say, anything you like or don't like, tell me. Good. I mean, it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And we had a friendship right up until the day he passed away, and I've had a fantastic relationship with Korg for now 45 years. Yeah.
It's a long time.
It's a long
distance.
It is, and it's great. And in most countries where we go, we have a good relationship. In America, in particular, they love Eric. Eric knows a lot about Korg. He's a clever. I just play. He's the clever. But we've made so many friends. It's brilliant.
Yeah, that's good. You mentioned the Trident.
Yeah.
You threw this keyboard at your kids once because it was intuitive and easy to learn and everything.
It was a great.
I read an interview of yours.
The Trident was way ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was.
Three synthesizers in one.
Yeah.
And it had a few little problems, which is the volumes between the various were up and down all over. But I thought it was a great machine.
Analog synthesizer in general. Talking about this, do you think these new analog synthesizers being released these days, maybe they are a point of entry or for newcomers to get interested in sound synthesis, and because they are easy to play.
Yeah, I think it does help. I think it helps.
Yeah, more than digital ones with screens and everything.
It does help. Yeah. It does help. Although young people today seem to be incredibly knowledgeable almost immediately on how things work.
Yeah.
When I first started with keyboards, there were no presets. There were no. you know.
And that's cool.
Yeah, and you had to play around and find sounds. But now, I mean, when we get a new keyboard, I don't look at the manual. I mean, Eric and my son Adam as well. They just go, oh yeah. And I go, okay. And Eric, who looks after the keyboards, has 30 years. He said, he goes, what do you want to do? What do you want this to do for you?
Yeah.
And I tell him, he goes, okay, this is what you need. This is what you need to know to do. And then I'm happy, you know.
Yeah.
But I like the sound. The most important thing to me is sounds. I like the sounds that Korg make. They've always had very good programmers, people who make really, really good sounds. I mean, we do change them. We edit.
The guys who make the presets.
We edit a lot. When we get the sounds together, we'll go in and we'll edit them together. And sometimes it can be quite funny because somebody will come and say, "I've got a Kronos.
Yeah.
I can't. What's that sound? I can't get that sound. Where is it?" You go, "Well, you won't get it because we made it.
It's not there. You made it.
Yes, that's it.
That's the cool about it.
Yeah.
When you program your own sounds.
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Good. Well, we talk about the old ones, so let's talk about the new ones. What's the newest Korg equipment that you have come into contact with, and what are you using it for? Is it the Nautilus or not?
It's the Nautilus, really.
The newest ones.
Yeah. When I'm not with my band, which is a 9-piece band, and the rig for the 9-piece band is huge. We wanted to put together a rig that would be just for the one-man shows. So really, just 2 keyboards is ideal.
It's enough.
But we wanted 2 keyboards that were very flexible with what you could do, and the Nautilus
does
everything. I mean, the Kronos is very good as well. The Nautilus has a few little improvements that I like. But the other great advantage is you can layer some nice sounds and things together.
And it's easy to layer.
Easy, yeah.
It's more easy than the Kronos with the layer function.
Yeah, absolutely.
In real time.
That's much better. Very good. I have a problem with this eye. Very bad sight. So for me to do changes while I'm playing is very difficult because I cannot see. So Eric does all of my patch changes. So
he does it.
Yeah, he does it over there.
Remotely.
Yeah, he does, which is fantastic. It means I can just worry about playing. Because since the eye has got really bad.
It's almost like the old days when you have one keyboard for each thing.
Yep.
And you just play it.
Yeah, it's very much like that. And Eric is a fine musician too. It also makes my life. The only thing I have to worry about, which is down there, which is that little pedal there.
Oh yeah.
Which is.
It's a Leslie switcher.
It's a little. It's to change one piano sound in a piece called Merlin the Magician. But sometimes when the stage is honky tonk, but sometimes when it's very dark on stage, I can't see the pedal, so you will see me go like this, trying to find the pedal. It's the only thing that I do. And the other night I couldn't find. I just kept forever.
Oh my god!
But otherwise Eric's responsible for everything.
That's cool, man. Well, we got here a Nautilus and a Kronos. Yep, you're using both. What's your opinion? Your opinion on the Nautilus compared to the Kronos? What's better? What's not that good?
Well, the Kronos.
Because you've been using Kronos.
The Kronos
for many
is
years
great.
now.
I mean, the Kronos is. I mean, Nautilus is like a.
Because they
are the same.
Quite,
but it has some functions. Layering, it's much easier. It's much easier to work on. It's much easier to do. I mean, the first one we had was a Kronos X, and then we had a Kronos 2. We've had. I mean, the Kronos is a great machine. It is a great machine. We use them in the big rig as well as the Nautilus as well. So we have them both up there. For me, I do like the Nautilus.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
More than a Kronos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because of the
Yeah.
facilities and stuff.
Yeah, I do. But when we're out here, because we've been renting and borrowing the keyboards, we sometimes, I mean, we know in advance, but sometimes we have two Nautilus, sometimes one Nautilus, one Kronos, sometimes two Kronos.
Yeah, you can exchange sounds.
We carry a stick with all the sounds and everything.
Yeah.
Although it's not as straightforward, I understand from Eric, as to just plug in and go. Because on the earlier Kronos models, you have to do a lot of changes.
Yes. You should have made a rack version of it, or not?
No, they never did.
Yeah.
I mean, I use.
It would be useful for such
I use quite a lot of
situations.
rack mounts, and I love rack mounts.
Yeah, I remember that.
And I don't know why they didn't do it.
Triton, for example.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
In the rack.
Maybe people don't
It was
use
the
rack.
last one, I guess.
A rack mount Nautilus would be fantastic.
Yeah, it would be nice.
Absolutely fantastic. Yeah.
Talking about analog synthesizers again, because it's a hype at the moment.
Yeah.
What do you think of this wave of analog synthesizers renaissance, let's say, like that?
Yeah.
Korg has a big part in this.
Yeah.
Since the MS-20 was
Yeah.
launched and everything. Do you think this might be be bringing personality back to the sounds of new keyboard players? You know, because you are, you have to do your own sounds.
Yeah. Well, that.
Because personally, I think that much of the personality got lost in the 90s with all the digital stuff that was coming out and presets and everything was ready.
Yeah, there were a few keyboards.
Like you did with the Minimoog in the 70s.
Minimoog I still use.
People
love the
were
Minimoog.
interested in your sounds. You had your sound.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly how it worked. The only other keyboard really that I liked, but it had problems, was the Roland had a JD 770 or 700, JD 700, and that you could play around with. That was great fun.
JD 800.
JD 800, sorry,
Yeah.
and that you could play around with. The only problem is it suffered from red glue key on the keys.
Oh yeah, and it melted.
Melted, and they all went.
Yeah,
So
I
I had a few, and then they just. I can't use them anymore, which is a great shame. I think, well, Moog, the new Moog company have just started making the Minimoog again.
Yeah.
And it's proving very successful. And I think you're right. I mean, it's. I think if you can have a. Something that does both. The Sequential Circuits Prophet 5 was clever, because it had 8 presets, but you could play around with lots of things.
Yeah.
So it had the best of both worlds. Certainly to bring back individual sounds.
Individual sounds. Really.
It does. It does help. Yeah.
It's a nice era for keyboard players now, I think.
Wonderful. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Because you have both worlds working together.
But you're right. The 90s was terrible.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Waste of time.
Really. Okay. For you, what would be a dream synth that Korg would, maybe release in the future? A dream synthesizer. What's coming next? What would you like to come?
A dream synthesizer for me would be the equivalent of built in a case that folded up open as a double keyboard.
Yeah.
And you had rack mounts built in that you could add and throw sounds with the pedal. So it was like one unit you could take, open up legs and do.
That's a great idea.
So you have, for example, for me, if I'm doing we're finishing the one-man show somewhere, but it would be perfect. You just take it, it's got everything that you want, and that would be really good for me. When you think that most keyboard players use at least 2 keyboards these days.
Yeah, at least 2.
Why not make into one?
Yeah,
unit?
one unit.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Really, didn't think about that. Good. Right. Well, let's have some fun, maybe. what was the most difficult or funny situation you ever had on stage? You mentioned sometimes.
I've had a few.
If I remember an episode with the lift, with the pipe organ or something.
Oh, I've had all sorts.
Don't know.
I've had all sorts of problems on stage.
But any other story?
In Brazil, we're playing in the monsoon season in the jungle somewhere.
Yeah.
And it rained. That was the 1981 tour, and it was too late. It was so quick to cover all of the keyboards, and I had a piano.
Oh my God! So it rained.
The piano filled with water. We let it dry out. That's all you could do.
Oh my God!
And then switch on, and everything
And it worked.
worked.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Cool.
And that was really good. But the piano was ruined.
Yeah.
It was just full of water.
Steinway?
No, it was a Yamaha.
Oh, Yamaha.
I wouldn't tour a Steinway. I love Steinways, but I wouldn't tour one. Yeah. But in America, in 1971, we had some English power 240,
Yeah.
and we had some American power AC 10, and somebody plugged into the wrong.
That's the worst.
So we started to play. They switched everything on, and there was smoke. And I finished up playing the piano. Yeah.
Did you have any problems with the Mellotron?
Mellotron,
In
great
those days,
sound.
like with power supplies, for example, just for the energy to be a little low, so the tapes run slower, the motor runs slower. It was a nightmare, wasn't it?
They were a nightmare. They made a good sound, but they were a nightmare.
Yeah. You have the digital one now, right?
I have the Memetron.
Yeah.
I've tried them all, and all the rack mounts, and the German Memetron is for me far the best of all of them.
Yeah.
It's very accurate. It's very good, but the old Mellotrons used to drive me mad. You come on stage at soundcheck, tapes all over the bits. So in the end, I had a special ceremony at my house. I set fire to them.
I've heard about it. Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was so furious with them. The sound is very good. It's useful, very useful sound. But we found the Memetron. We tried loads of them, and then the Memetron came and thought, oh, another one. Hey, this worked. This is good.
Yeah.
You know, so we have two Memetrons in the big rig.
Good. Now to finish, it's a simple question then.
Yeah.
What are your plans from now on after this tour?
Nobody
wants you retired, you know.
Well, I won't retire.
No, but that's good.
The plans after this tour, I have another tour of America. The final part of the one-man shows. That's in October and November. December, I have a Christmas tour in the UK,
great.
which I do with my son Adam and a great girl singer called Molly Marriott, who is Stevie Marriott's daughter. And then at the beginning of the year, we have a tour coming up with my 9-piece band, which we'll go out and do. Then again at the end of the year, and then we're looking at coming, if we can, back here at the end of next year with the 9-piece band.
I hope so.
And then more of the same. Keep playing. The only thing I'm finishing is these one-man shows. Because I've been doing them for off and on in between for 40 years. And there's so much other I want to do.
It's impossible to
so
stop.
Enough is enough. So this will be the last time the one-man show will be down here, and in October will be the last time in America. Finished in England with them already. There'll be a few to do in Europe, but and that's it then.
That's great. Great news.
Yeah.
Really. I hope to see you then.
Oh, you hope so too.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to keep on playing because because I can't do anything else.
Yeah, we just can live without music, really.
Yeah, that's it. Brilliant.
Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. See you.